Hey everybody, good Thursday morning. The week moving right along and it is looking active. Right off the bat here, you will notice not one but two instances of red over the next few days. The first is going to be tonight, carrying over into the first little bit of our Friday. That's weather impact alert number 1. And then we have an additional one headed into the weekend. Before we get into the timing, you might be looking at this thinking, where is John? He's missing out on all the fun. Well, I assure you, he is having a wonderful time. John Ziegler is on spring break with his family. He will be back next Tuesday. I'll be holding down the fort until then. And if you miss him, he is still posting weather updates on Facebook from the beach, actually. Pretty cool. So he's giving you the Minnesota weather from afar. So again, if you missed John, he's still got updates on Facebook. Otherwise, he'll be back next Tuesday. Let's get into the timing of these weather impact alerts because yes, there are alerts, plural, not one, but two of them. The first one starts at 3 o'clock today. I'll get out of the way here. 3 o'clock today through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Couple different reasons for that weather impact alert. We have a mix of precip. So we have rain as well as snow. That's going to move in as early as 3, 4 o'clock today. So on your evening commute, roads are going to be wet. I feel okay saying that they're not going to be icy, at least for your evening commute. The reason being, temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s to near 40, so it may be slick just because there will be moisture out there, but we're not going to see ice, at least during the daylight hours. Now, there's another part of this weather impact alert number 1. We have very windy conditions. Wind gusts could reach up to 60 miles per hour out of the northwest. Northwest winds are kind of bitter cold in nature, and the National Weather Service has actually issued a high wind warning for most of central and southern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities. Winds will easily be 25, 30 miles per hour starting tonight and into tomorrow morning, and again could reach 60 miles per hour. Okay, so that's weather impact alert number 1. Now let's talk about number 2. That's going to be for your weekend. Snow moves in Saturday evening, but it's really going to ramp up during the day on Sunday. In fact, it's looking like the snow could be quite heavy at times. This may be one of our biggest snowfalls of the spring season. Of course, we're kind of in the purgatory between winter and spring right now, but we are in the time of year where we still can get pretty big snowstorms, and this could be one of them. So we've got a weather impact alert for that. Temperatures over the last 12 hours have dropped into the 20s. We were in the upper 30s last night at 9, and then as we headed throughout our morning programming, we were in the mid and upper 20s. Temperatures were actually pretty much identical to what we saw yesterday morning. There you have it, 0. That's not the temperature, that's the change compared to yesterday morning. It was quite a bit cooler up in International Falls, but temperatures were the same as yesterday morning in the Twin Cities, but that's really the only thing that was the same. We didn't have the wind chill. Yesterday we had the wind chill, making it feel like teens in the backyard, especially when those north winds picked up. Today we didn't have that. It was a pretty comfortable morning as long as you had the jacket on. We also had a dry morning, so hopefully you got into work okay this morning. Roads were dry, and that certainly was not the case yesterday morning. We also saw a good amount of sunshine. That is changing as we speak. As of about 9:30 this morning, clouds are starting to move in from the west, and if you take a look west of Fargo, north of 94 there in North Dakota, snow starting to pick up. That is all part of the same system that is going to impact us later this afternoon and into tonight. I want to take a wide look at the nation since we've got 10 more minutes after all. You can see active weather is moving on to the East Coast. This all part of the same system that unfortunately did bring some really dangerous tornadoes to parts of the country within the last 48 hours. Very colorful map here, lots of weather alerts. We have them along the East Coast, even some marine alerts there. We have alerts for Chicago. We have alerts for Wisconsin. We have alerts here in Minnesota. And look at this for the plains and into North Texas, red flag warnings. That's that bright pink color. So winds very gusty and very dry conditions. A red flag warning is basically as high as you can get in terms of fire danger. But I want to take a tour of our alerts here locally. So to the north, this includes Grand Marais, the Arrowhead, really just the international border up here. That's a winter storm warning that goes into effect at 1 o'clock today, lasts through tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So if you are headed north this evening, it could get a little bit dicey. It probably will get a little bit dicey. Now, slightly further to the south, you can see the counties there highlighted in purple. There are a handful of them. It includes places like Bemidji. That's a winter weather advisory, same time frame as the winter storm warning. So 1 o'clock today through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is for blowing snow. It'll be windy and we could see accumulation up to 4 inches for those counties there in purple. But for the pink counties, you're looking at 3 to 8 inches of snow possible. So one more time, breaking down the alerts, high wind warning for central and south Minnesota. I think that's the next graphic I have here lined up. So I'll show you what that actually looks like on the map. Northwest winds 25-35 miles per hour, could get up to 60 miles per hour with those gusts. Now for northern Minnesota, we're looking at more of that wintry weather that you just saw on the map. Winter weather advisory as well as a winter storm warning. And here we go. These are those wind alerts. So for western Wisconsin, including Menominee, and then you've got those areas just to the north of the Twin Cities metro, it's a little bit lighter in color. This is a high wind advisory, so just a little bit lower on the totem pole, meaning not as crazy as what we're dealing with in the bright yellow. That high wind advisory goes into effect midnight tonight, lasts through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll have those gusty northwest winds, 35-ish miles per hour, gusts up to 50. But where we have the warning, and this does include the Twin Cities, we could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So with these high wind events, what I want you to do really before nightfall tonight is make sure that any items in your backyard or on your patio are secure. I know that last weekend was kind of warm. A lot of us took out the patio furniture. It's not a bad idea to move that into the garage or into the shed, or if you have the ability to tie that down, I would do that, because it's one of those nights where it is going to get real windy and your trash can, your trampoline, it could end up in somebody else's yard. So just be aware of that. This is tonight at 7:30. Winds starting to pick up, but it gets gustier overnight, especially where you see those shades of purple. Wilmer 50 miles per hour, 57 miles per hour in Marshall. This is after midnight. So the worst of the wind is going to be while you sleep. But if you don't secure those outdoor items, you may be woken up in the middle of the night to stuff blowing around. 38 miles per hour very early tomorrow morning in the Twin Cities. We get kind of a break from the wind. I'm hesitant to say we get a full break because it is going to remain gusty really all the way through lunchtime on your Friday afternoon. So here's weather impact alert number 1. It is for the wind as well as that wintry mix of precipitation. Starts at 3 o'clock today, goes through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I don't think that roads will get icy per se, but they will be slick and they will be wet. So please do use caution traveling. Let's time this out. Clouds moving on in through the rest of our morning and early afternoon. By 3-4 o'clock, we've got snow, especially along 94 towards St. Cloud, Alexandria, Moorhead, even up to Thief River Falls. I think that a little bit more rain is going to mix in here. This model of the Futurecast, microcast rather, is not showing a lot of rain, but I think there will be more of it, especially to the south of the Twin Cities. This continues overnight. Here's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight. We're still seeing it, but by 5 o'clock, it is all out of here. So it should be pretty quiet on your morning commute tomorrow. highest snow totals, really the highest chance for snow accumulation, is going to be well to the north. So Grand Rapids, International Falls, Duluth, the North Shore, Bemidji, you all could get maybe 2-4 inches. Those are the areas where we're going to see accumulation. But for the Twin Cities, we don't really have a great chance of accumulation. Not a big snow event for us. I think that we're probably going to see a little bit more rain with this one. Mid-40s for our highs today. Winds will pick up overnight, and that's why we do have that weather impact alert going into effect, the wind as well as the wintry precip. But again, temperatures are hanging out in the 40s all the way through 10 o'clock tonight, which should prevent any ice from forming on the roads, which is really good news. Now here's tomorrow. We still have this weather impact alert all the way through the 10 o'clock hour. It's going to be the windiest from about 5 to 8 a.m. And during that time, if you're traveling north or southbound on one of those major highways, especially if you're driving a higher profile vehicle, what that means is something taller, right? Like a semi, maybe you're moving and you're driving a U-Haul, maybe you're towing something. Those vehicles are going to be in danger of swaying a little bit or tipping. So I want you to pay extra close attention and just take some extra time on the roads tomorrow morning. Conditions will improve into tomorrow afternoon, a little bit cooler, the sun comes out. Take a breather for your Friday as we warm up to 40 because we have yet another weather impact alert headed our way by Saturday evening. 6 o'clock, that's when that goes into effect, and we're going to have that last all the way through our Sunday because snow moves in Saturday night and it will be heavy at times. So what you need is to be flexible with those travel plans. And I'm not just talking about roadways because I think this will also impact air travel. So if you have family or friends flying into MSP on Sunday, or even if you're flying out of MSP, you may see some delays here. Now, we are getting a better idea of how much snow we could get out of this system. I'm hesitant to throw out any exact totals. To be honest with you, I'm always hesitant to throw out exact totals, but with this system, it's a little bit tricky. What happens tonight could impact the track of the low pressure system coming in, but what I can show you is that models are now in agreement, they're overlapping from south of St. Cloud all the way down into far northern Iowa, that these areas shaded in light purple could see 4 or more inches of snow. That's going to be the biggest snowmaker that we've seen in quite some time. It's enough to shovel, it's enough to plow, it's enough to make a snowman. And the timing is not bad because it's a Sunday. So we're not driving to work, we're not driving to school. We don't have to worry about school buses being able to navigate this. So if you can, stay home and just enjoy a nice snowy day. It might be one of the last ones of the season, and depending on how much snow we get on Sunday, that'll impact just how cold we get into early next week. But either way, it does look like we're going to see 20s for highs, single digits for lows Monday and Tuesday, which is St. Patrick's Day. Wednesday, temperatures do look to rebound a bit, partly sunny conditions, and we're going to jump up into the 30s. Take a look at the time lapse from earlier today. What a gorgeous sunrise. We were really enjoying that. And we saw those clouds moving in pretty quickly through the back half of the morning. Lows this morning were in the mid-20s, really similar to yesterday morning, minus the precip that we saw yesterday morning. However, if you are up north, it was definitely a chillier morning than what you had yesterday. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to see 40s by lunchtime. We keep it in the 40s all the way through the evening commute. So yes, it will be wet. It shouldn't be icy because we're going to be too warm. That's a good thing. Today, forecasting a high of 45 degrees. Rain and snow will mix together and move in from the west this evening. It'll continue overnight, and then we're done by tomorrow morning. So rain-snow combo starts this afternoon. We're going to be windy overnight into our Friday morning, and then as we track into the weekend, heavy snow is looking more likely. Once again, not one but 2 weather impact alerts over the next handful of days. The first one starts today at 3, goes through 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Few different reasons for that. We have the mixed precip that's going to dampen the roads, and those winds will also make travel a little bit difficult, especially for bigger vehicles. Gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour, and we do have that high wind warning for the Twin Cities metro and areas out to the south and west of the metro. Weather impact alert number 2 arrives over the weekend, Saturday evening into all of Sunday. That is purely a snow event, so no rain. It's going to be cold enough that it is just plain snow, and it's going to be heavy at times. We are looking at the potential to see multiple inches of snow at this point, maybe 4 or more. So definitely check back with us for updates. Those totals could change, of course, depending on what happens over the next 48 hours. Here's one last look at your 7-day forecast. 45 this afternoon. Rain and snow mixes in after lunchtime. Tomorrow, very windy to start. High wind warning will be in effect through the 10 o'clock hour in the morning. Then we get to 40 tomorrow afternoon. That could be the last 40 we see for some time. We're dropping into the 30s this weekend.